I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 154. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. And on another note, too, before we start, we are now part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. If you go to gamingpodcastalliance.com, you can find all of the great podcasts on our network, such as Shark Gaming, Pixie Gaming, GOGP, Ghost of Gamer Past, Pixel Paradise, Precisely Podcast, New Dad Gaming, In Your Element, and Zap Night. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. And this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster, formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
I am at the end of Resident Evil 2, Dan. I'm at the end of Leon's campaign, end of the game, final boss. Can't beat him.
Well, this time you love Resident Evil. Like this time last year, you finished Resident Evil 7 in VR.
I did, yeah. Because you want to know why? You want to know why, Dan? You want to know why? Because I'm a grown man gamer, and grown men gamers finish the games they started, VR or not. VR. All right. You said, I think you even gave me a challenge to I bet you can't finish that game in VR, and I said, you know what? I can and will.
You did.
I am afraid of chainsaws. I'm mentioning that now. I have mentioned that in the past. I think you know this. A lot of people know this. Now the fans know this. I'm deathly afraid of chainsaws. There is a battle with the father who brandishes a dual-wielding chainsaw who comes after you. I did it in VR.
Wow. Conquer your fear, Dave. Conquer
That's right.
your
I'm
fear.
dedicated.
It's all about conquering your fears.
I'm dedicated. Yeah. So I'm deep into it. Now, a little bird had told me, possibly you, Dan Robinson, that you picked up Resident Evil 2. Is this true?
You just called me a bird?
Turn of phrase. It's a turn of phrase.
First of all, I am not a little bird. I would be a pterrodactyl if I was a bird. Okay, all right. I'm a
pterodactyls
big bird.
are birds. That's true. Yeah.
I think so. I think they're birds. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Evolutionarily speaking, I believe you are correct.
I could be wrong, but I would be a pterodactyl.
Oh well, no, Dan, you can't be wrong because you're never wrong, except when you are wrong, which is never.
But yes, I did pick up Resident Evil 2. Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to pick it up. I know I said I wasn't going to pick it up unless it was in the bargain bin during the holiday season. However, I had a lot of
those things are true. It was not in the bargain bin, and it's not the holidays. Wait. I may give you that it's Christmas too right now. If you admit that it's Christmas too, and Christmas 1 happened 3 months ago, then I will give you a pass.
No, listen, I have no problem with calling it Christmas 2. My issue is you call it Christmas 1.
You have to acknowledge that Christmas 1 happened in December. Otherwise, you owe me a Shake Shack. You owe me a Shake Shack burger. That's what we're dealing with right now, Dan.
It is Christmas 2. I admit. I got Amazon
Okay,
points.
you owe me a Shake Shack burger. You heard it here, folks.
I don't owe you a Shake Shack burger.
We made
a bet. That is wrong.
We did not make a bet.
We did not make a bet. We did not make a bet.
Oh my God!
This guy.
I'm never making a bet with you ever again, Dan. Because you always twist it in a way that makes you seem like you were in the right.
I never made a bet.
I'm learning my lesson.
We've never made a bet. We've never made a bet.
That statement is incorrect. Right.
We can always go back to the
But
tape.
anyway.
I never made a bet about it.
Anyway, I predict I don't bet. I predict you'll spend about 2 hours in the game and then put it down.
Just for that, I'm gonna make sure I spend 2 hours and 2 minutes in a game.
By all means, man, scare yourself out. It is a creep fest. Mr. X is one hell of a villain. Let me tell you.
He's like unstoppable, right? Like
he is very much unstoppable. Yeah, you can hurt him to where he falls on his knee and has to take a breath, but you cannot kill him. So
is it like you have to? I mean, you don't kill him. Like that's the end goal is to get away, right?
Yes, because like basically there comes a point in the game where Mr. X comes through and you see like he's a threat, and the music changes and it dips real low and it gets real intense and like the drums start going. And you just have to run. Like the whole idea is to like get around him, right? And he moves real slow, but he is big. So if you're in a hallway, you're basically effed, right? There's really no way around it unless you have like a smoke grenade or something like that to disorient him. You're probably going to get choked out, right?
Gotcha.
So like if you get hit, he'll take you to the ground and then you can get up and go past him because he won't be able to grab you fast enough, but you will take damage. So that's just a little bit of a pro tip. You're gonna see Mr. X, and it's gonna be creepy as hell.
You know, I rather get this on PC and get the mod with the choo choo train like we talked about.
Thomas the Tank, yeah. My god, it's so funny because they end up playing the music and he's waddling back and forth. Oh, it's too good. It's too good.
Okay.
Oh man, yeah. So how is your game room organization? I know
I am done
last week. You're done.
I'm done.
Oh,
I'm done.
Fantastic. Look at that.
I told you I added a small little shelf that perfectly fits the PlayStation Vita games and Nintendo 3DS games. Right. Somehow, some way, I always do this. I have more room. That's
magic, Dan. You live in that closet from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, right? where there's a whole fantasy realm inside this closet in this like kid's house.
I somehow, some way.
I don't know how you do it.
I always make room. Okay, I always make room. I went from double stacking to now not double stacking, but it's still I still double stack somewhat, but I have more room to grow to 4,000 games. And we'll see. But yeah, no, it's all done. It looks all good. I love it. Everything's organized. And you would be happy to know that I have my original OG PS4 hooked up to my computer monitor with the VR headset. So I can actually just easier to play VR games.
There you go, Dan. You got to get back into it.
I don't have it hooked up to the PS4 Pro for one simple reason. I want the HDR feature because it doesn't have the pass-through for HDR through the box. So I have a Pro. I want the best picture quality, right? That I can on I want the 4K quality. So so that's why I had to disconnect it from the Pro. I got it on my OG PS4, which when I bought this, I only had the OG PS4. It works fine, and I have it on my computer monitor. So hopefully I'll get into some VR games soon.
I know I'm pretty sure the version 2 supports HDR pass through. For the VR headset,
and it has like a simple one. And I think they took the headphone jack away from. I think they took the headphone jack away from they put it on the headset itself. I think
right
or something. There was another minor tweak they did with the wire and the headset. I remember that. Yeah. I just haven't bought the version 2. Maybe I should buy the version 2 at some point when we get back from PAX.
I mean. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when we're going to get version 2, right?
Well, you know what? We should get that now. I got to be honest, because how many people are going to have it? They have a couple of million, 2 or 3 million PSVR headsets out in the wild, right? And it's all a lot of them are going to be the first version because they sold a lot in the beginning, right? So the version 2 may be the one that is scarce because PS5 is right around the corner, and I'm sure they have a brand new PS5 PSVR headset ready to go for that. So yeah, so the game room is done. I'm good. Nice. Awesome. Now I just saw a trailer earlier today and I didn't even know this movie existed, but you did. This looks crazy. James Gunn, the guy who's behind he directed
Guardians 1 and 2.
1 and 2, and
sadly has been removed from that project for
But
for some random tweets, and Disney didn't like it.
But they're still using his script. Actually, I heard they're still going to use his script for Guardians 3. Or Dave Bautista said he wasn't going to do the movie unless they used the script. Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's like it's good to see people standing up for him and whatnot. And well, he's. I mean, listen, he's not like he's out of work. He's working with DC.
Thankfully, it's like he's not out of work.
He's working with Warner Brothers in DC, and he was gonna write and direct the new Suicide Squad movie.
Right. And it's like the whole thing that kind of went down is kind of very interesting. I think Disney really sandbagged him. I mean, one of his first projects was Cannibal the Musical, which was a Trey Parker and Matt Stone of South Park fame. That was like their thing, and he was a part of that. So they should have known like what they were getting into with this director. They're like, oh, we want this guy James Gunn. It was like, you should look into his history first before hiring this guy. If somewhere down the line he tries to say a funny tweet and you're like, oh, we don't like that doesn't go with our brand, sorry, you're fired, we're gonna have to get somebody else to do Guardians 3 now, you know. Ugh, that's a whole big thing. But
the biggest issue with him leaving was I think he was incorporating other Marvel characters for their phase 4 or 5. I forget what phase we're on now with all the Marvel movies.
Phase 3, if not the beginning of phase 4.
Yeah, I forgot which phase, but they wanted to incorporate other Marvel, sort of characters and storylines into Guardians 3 to branch off to do other things. So I think he was like an intricate part in the process of moving forward. And now he's defected. He's gone to DC. He will be.
He didn't defect.
I know. Well, he's
Marvel/Disney defected him and outcast him,
And he's now doing a Suicide Squad movie, which Will Smith will not be back to play. I think Deadshot. I think it was like a scheduling conflict, which is kind of weird because they're not going to shoot until like next year. So it's like a scheduling conflict for next year.
He's got to go shoot Bad Boys 3. Come on.
He does have to go shoot Bad Boys 3, which I'm excited about. But they're talking about Idris Elba coming in to take his place.
Idris Elba. Interesting.
Yeah. And Dave Bautista may have a role in the DC universe.
Oh boy.
He wants to come in. He may come into the Suicide Squad, but they're going to focus on other characters than just the first Suicide Squad. We don't even know who Batman is. Who Batman is.
I know.
Oh, Superman's coming back.
Ugh, I honestly don't even. I don't even care about the DCU anymore. It's just ridiculous.
But talking about Superman, he has a new movie coming out that's called Superboy. It's a horror movie. It's sort of a twist on the Superman origin story. It's what if Superman was evil?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So it's like the same thing, the same premise. Like a comet comes out of the sky, hits a farm, and you have a couple that goes to see what it is, and it's a boy. It's a baby that they raise as their own out in the middle of nowhere. I think it was like Kansas, right? And the boy has issues, and he's has superpowers, and he's killing everyone.
Issues. The boy has issues is making light of the situation.
So this looks crazy. I wonder if this is part of DCU. Could this be a part of DCU?
I don't think this is anything a part of the DCU.
Is that a part of DCU? I know.
No, it definitely can't be. Bizarro Superman, I guess, right? He's the evil version.
Could be. I mean, it would fit into the DCU and their dark theme, right?
Oh my god. I don't like any of this.
I will see this movie. This looks crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Something that everyone was up in arms over, right? Which I'm not gonna lie, I've joined in because I'm up in arms and over too.
I wouldn't pose it as people being up in arms. I would say there is some controversy abound, right? Because
people hated this.
Well,
people hated this.
Saying that people have their hands up means they're overreacting, I think. And I think they are very reactionary. They are on point with their reaction.
Well, they could be. It's the Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, we got some leaked photos of Sonic from the movie. Before we had like the leaked silhouette of Sonic, right? And it looked kind of weird. he's sort of, humanoid, right? But now we got actual
He looks
photos.
like a furry. He looks like a man in a fur costume.
Now we have leaked photos of Sonic from the live action movie. I am up in arms because it looks ridiculous, and I think we all have a right to be up in arms. At least he doesn't have a handkerchief around his neck like his Sonic Boom. Right?
Oh my god! Well, his gloves, which don't seem to be gloves, are fur. It's just like white fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. The proportions are off on this. It's not good.
Yeah, he looks horrible. And even the creator of Sonic, who no longer works for Sega, says this looks terrible.
Yeah, Jesus. It's not good.
No, it's not good. It looks horrible. But you know what? When we first heard about Detective Pikachu, we said that probably is not going to be good either, because how are they going to make the Pokemon live action, right? Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, right? How is that going to work? So far, it looks great. Everyone just hates Mewtwo. How he looks.
No. Detective Pikachu is going to be great, man. I have no issues with that movie. They're doing everything perfectly.
But you know what? I will reserve judgment until we actually see a trailer, right? Maybe the movie can, maybe the actual movie can save it. I mean,
it's
Jim
got
Carrey,
okay.
Jim Carrey is going to be Dr. Robotnik.
I know,
or Eggman, or wherever you are. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik.
It has John Ralphio in it. It has Ben Schwartz from Parks and Rec fame, among other things, House of Lies and a couple other things. He's fantastic. So I have hope because of that and Jim Carrey, but I don't know. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, man.
Well, Sonic looks terrible. But hopefully the movie can be good and we can overlook how horrible
it's gonna
Sonic
be
looks.
tough, man. He's gonna be in every damn scene. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be a hard watch.
You know what? We should watch it. We should watch it and dedicate a convo of the week to talk about Sonic.
How bad it is? I mean, sure.
How wrong Dave is and how good the movie could be.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna be wrong, Dan. That I will make a bet on. Rotten Tomato score of 27. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think. What if? You know what? I take a Shake Shack bet. It'll be over 27.
I told you I'm not betting anymore. Did you not listen to? Did you not hear what I was saying at the top of the show?
Well, I still don't think this movie is going to be that bad. I'm holding out hope. Okay, I'm holding out hope.
Oh boy!
Until we see a trailer. Mm-hmm. When we see a trailer, that will determine if this movie is bad or not. To see how Sonic in live action is really going to move around and be super fast.
Yeah, we'll see. All
right, Dave, you get any good pickups this week?
I got some decent pickups this week, for sure. A few, got a handful, I guess you would call it. World of Warcraft, the collector's edition. That is the vanilla World of Warcraft in the brown box, and the Warcraft Burning Crusade in the green box came together in a battle chest style pack. So I picked that up. Tetris Worlds for Game Boy Advance in box. Dan,
nice.
I'm starting my journey to collect all the Tetris games. I'm making it happen because I love Tetris. I don't know why I don't own more copies of the different versions of Tetris.
I don't know why you don't enter tournaments and try to be the number one Tetris player in the world.
Can
you beat a 17-year-old in Tetris?
I could beat a 12-year-old. I could beat a 17-year-old. I could beat anybody in Tetris. I will take that to the bank. And the final game is Rock of the Dead, right?
Rock of the
Dead, yeah. Because when the whole like harmonics and Guitar Hero and Rock Band was in full swing, somebody thought, oh, why don't we do a rock and roll theme game but with like undead? And that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
This is a real game?
Yep. Rock of the Dead. Yeah.
Rock of the Dead.
Uh-huh. Pretty sure it has like peripheral support for all the plastic guitars and everything. And you do the same damn rock songs, but everyone's undead. It's just got a fresh coat of paint on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah. So what about you? You pick up anything good?
I got a few pickups. I got a lot of pickups. I picked up Nintendo. I picked up the Nintendo Labo kit, the variety kit. Got it on sale. They're going half price all across the board, like a bunch of places.
So you're saying people don't really want them anymore? Is that it? Like, are they kind of just sitting on the store shelves?
At least the original variety kit, and like the robot right? The giant, like the robot mech one. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
like
one's
70, 80 bucks now.
no one's buying those. They're all going down to like $40, $30.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown for the Xbox One.
Oh, that's got you got the Xbox One version? You know it has PlayStation VR support.
I know. Listen, the game's discounted. It's sold out for the PS4 in a lot of places, but it's discounted on Amazon for the Xbox One, so I got the discounted price. Look, you'll find a theme that I'm picking up a lot of games for the Xbox One just because a lot of places the PS4 version is sold out. They have a lot of copies of the Xbox One version, and you never know years from now when it's like, hey, the Xbox One version is the one that's scarce because no one bought it.
I love your enthusiasm, Dan. I hope you were right about this because, we want these games to appreciate, not depreciate in value, right? No matter what.
Speaking of the PlayStation, I got another PlayStation camera. So I got a bundle when I first bought the PS4 with the PS4 camera, the square one. So I bought sort of like the round,
the one that PS4 I have
camera,
with mine,
the new version. Yeah. So I got that with the PS4 Pro. The reason why I wanted to separate it because I need the camera to have the PSVR, right?
Yes,
and I have it hooked up to the OG PS4, but I still want the camera on my PS4 Pro, which is my main PS4, and it just recognizes my face and logs me in. So that's why I brought that cam. Got Dead or Alive 6 for the PlayStation 4. Still haven't played it yet.
Oh,
it's on the list. It's on my list.
I am curious to know your thoughts on that because they apparently changed a bunch of stuff from the old style formula. They think I toned down the jiggle physics and toned down some of the outfits a little bit, made it a little less sexual, I think, right? And a little more like a real fighter, I think. So curious to see how that plays out. Well,
in that spirit is the reason why I bought Dead or Alive 1 Ultimate Edition for the original Xbox.
That's two ends of the spectrum right there, right?
Yeah. And I got Dead or Alive 5 and Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate Edition for PS3. I already told you I picked up the Resident Evil 2. I got Tomb Raider Trilogy. I got that from GameStop for the PS3. Found it for a great price. Well, the rare great price you get at GameStop, which is cheaper than anywhere else. Mario and Luigi's Bowser Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey for 3DS. Try to say that 10 times fast.
I'm going to pass.
A game we talked about all the games come out in March, and it slipped my mind when I went into the Nintendo store, but Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn for the 3DS. I definitely want to, pop this bad boy open and play it. I love the Kirby games, but sadly, you know what they say, when a Kirby game comes out, that means it's sort of the end of the life cycle.
The end of the system. Yeah.
All right. So I don't think.
I think the 3DS has had a good run. All right. I don't think people are going to be that sad if it ends up going away after this game.
I don't think there'll be another major Nintendo game coming out for the 3DS. Everyone's asking why couldn't this come out on the Switch? I don't know. It may be easier to port because it was originally a Wii game, right? So it wasn't an HD game, right?
Right.
So I think it'd be easier to port this non-HD game from the Wii to the 3DS.
The Wii and the 3DS, I bet, have pretty similar graphics.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Compared to trying to upscale this for the Switch. Right?
Exactly.
That just makes sense. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, got that for the Xbox 360. And last but not least, I picked up Devil May Cry 5. And surprise, surprise, no surprise, I picked it up for the Xbox One because in large part it was sold out for the PS4.
I see.
I went to two places to get it for PS4 and it was sold out. So I really had no choice but to get it for the PS5. I mean, to get it for the Xbox One or wait. So I want to do just a real quick sort of review roundup. This game is awesome. Okay. So
is it fantastic on the Dave scale? On the Dave scale, what would you rate it?
I can't rate it yet. Okay.
I can't rate it
yet.
Rating pending. RP.
Rating pending. Like great pending for the restaurants in New York. I've only played an hour of it. I haven't played a lot of it because I had a lot of things I had to do this weekend. So I've only got into like an hour when I first bought it. The PS4 version got an 86 on Metacritic, and Xbox One version got an 88 on Metacritic. As of this recording, I don't know all the, it can go up because all the
so the
ratings aren't
Xbox
in
One
yet.
version got rated better than the PS4 version. Interesting.
Well,
Interesting.
A lot of the PS4 a lot of the PlayStation outlets still have a grade pending as well, so that may go up.
We shall see. But as of this recording, the Xbox is better than the PS4. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what?
saying.
It's because they can probably only find it for the Xbox.
No. Don't make
sold
excuses.
out
Don't make
for PS4.
excuses. I'm just stating a fact here. The numbers don't lie.
So IGN gave it a 95.
Mm-hmm.
Destructoid and God is a Geek, which I love the name of that site.
Yeah.
Both gave it perfect scores. Game Informer gave it an 85.
Wow.
Games Radar gave it a 90. However, I like to find an outlier in all of these Metacritic scores.
Mm-hmm.
Totally forgot Variety actually reviews games, which is a little bit weird.
What?
They gave it a 6. They gave it a 60.
Dan, you are magical. You are the David Copperfield of finding these weird outlier review sites. That is magic. Variety. And wait. What did they end up giving it as a score again?
60.
Get out of here. Get out of here. You're telling me the magazine publication website that is not known for video games gave it the lowest score out of the set.
Out of all the scores I can find as of this recording, this was the lowest score I found.
Wow. The
major complaint was the camera.
The camera.
The fixed camera.
Okay.
That was the major complaint. And they love the combos. They love the resolution. It looks beautiful. The game looks great.
Mm-hmm.
They hated the fact that you play as 3 different characters because they said you really can't lock on into really get the reps in to know how to do combos for each for that character. If you have to switch when you go to another level for a different character.
Sure, that could be. Yeah, that could be.
But they really hate it. They sort of the game controls and the camera working against you, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just really didn't like it. The reviewer really didn't like it.
Well, I mean that honestly sounds like a fair criticism. I don't know because I haven't played the game, but maybe that's why IGN gave it a 95 instead of 100, or why Game Informer gave it an 85. But to say like the camera is that bad that it's going to be 40 points off, it's like that's tough. I don't know.
I will say I've been playing this game for an hour. It's sort of the tutorial, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of past the tutorial mission. The camera's fine. I don't understand the big deal. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't get the big deal.
It's not that bad. Okay, all right.
It's not that bad. If you like the Bayonetta games, right? Because to me, this is sort of like playing a new Bayonetta game for me, right? You will have enemies that are off screen behind you that you can't see, right? Now, what do you want to do? What do you want? You want the camera to pan around, away from your line of sight? Like there are going to be enemies. You have to be mindful and move and keep sticking and moving and dodging, right? That's why they have the dodge button. So I don't know. I disagree, and obviously everyone else does too.
Yeah.
Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail. Sort of not this episode because you started the show off the back. What have you been playing?
Okay. Oh, you want to get technical about it? Technically, we talked about what we were playing at the top of the show in a way, but beyond the Resident Evil 2, I am also playing another sequel, the Pixel Junk Monsters 2 on the Switch. Even though I had mentioned, I think last episode or the episode before, that the load times are atrocious, that has not changed. There is no patch for this out just yet, nor do I think there is going to be, which is sad because it takes like a good minute to go from one screen to the next. Even if I want to like restart, it's like a minute, right? If I beat the level, it's a minute to go back to the main. Everything takes time. It's insane, but it's still good. It's still like super fun. So I'm dealing with that. But yeah, that's what I got going on. What about you?
All right, so I've been playing Devil May Cry 5. I only played an hour of it on Xbox One. Still, the verdict is still out, right? I'm still sort of, I guess I'm past the tutorial mission. If there's a demo, actually, if you didn't buy the game, you should download the demo. The demo sort of is the first real level in the game that I'm playing right now, right? So see how you like it. You may, maybe you like it, maybe you won't.
Yeah.
I think you will. If you like the Bayonetta games, I think you'll like this game.
Yeah. yeah. I mean, I like the old Devil May Cry, so I don't see why I wouldn't like this one.
And then I've been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered on PS4. It's out right now for PlayStation Plus. It's free. So if you're PlayStation Plus, you should pick this up and play it. I did pick up this game on Xbox One because there's only one I can find online on Amazon. So I'm just waiting for it to be delivered.
Right.
Before we go to break, I got to give a big shout out to Limited Run Games. I love these guys. All right. They put out physical releases for a lot of games that only come out digitally. And
we are both super fans of Limited Run, for sure.
And this game, I think we joked about, like we can't wait till this comes out in a limited run, and it's true now. It's coming out this Friday, I think March 15th. Physical release of Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. Okay, so that's the game. It's coming out on PS4, Vita, and Switch. Yep. Oddly enough, I will be picking up the Vita version. I've played this game on the Switch, but I will be picking up the Vita version. Hopefully,
this is the curse-stained 8-bit version, right?
Yes,
because they have two. They have the actual curse-stained and then the 8-bit like retro throwback one. Which is awesome. Yeah.
Was the Bloodstained game, right? Which is the spiritual successor to the Castlevania games from the same creator. The Bloodstained game is coming out this summer, I believe. I think we talked about this. It's coming out this summer. But this was the 8-bit Curse of the Moon, right? That was more in the style of the old school. I think it was based on Castlevania 3 when you switch characters with the different abilities.
Yeah. They definitely have that mechanic in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I made it to the final boss. Almost beat him, but didn't beat him, right? So I almost beat the game. And I should have just quit. All right. So if I pick it up for the Vita, which I hope I can, then I definitely see if I can go back and beat this game. All right. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we get into top 10 gaming news last week. And we're back. All right, let's get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. Let's start off with E3. E3 is slowly approaching. First of all, we gotta get through PAX first. And once we get through PAX,
have to get through PAX, yes.
Well, everyone has to get through PAX. Everyone has to get through PAX East.
Right? That's true.
That's coming up at the end of this month. E3 is only 3-4 months away, right? Wow, we're almost there. Sony won't be there.
Yeah,
we're almost there.
No. Sony's tapped out of everything, even their own conference.
Well, I think they'll have I still predict they'll have a conference at the end of this year. We'll have a Sony experience probably in December.
They said they're not doing a Sony experience this year, though.
No, they didn't. They said they weren't doing a Sony experience last year, and they didn't.
Well,
they usually have it every December. They tapped out in December, and then they said they're not going to do E3.
They're not going to do E3, yeah.
They're going to do E3. So,
I mean, they have to announce the PS5 somewhere and somehow and sometime during this year. So,
and I think
PlayStation experience that'd be like the place to do it if you're going to.
I think they'll have a PlayStation experience this year. I think they'll probably announce the specs prior to, and have it at PlayStation experience. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they'll just show the controller. I think we already sort of had semi predictions over that. Because I think the controller is going to be the thing that's like special about the PS5.
I mean, that's what all the rumors are, but yeah.
But E3 this year, we talked. Well, the press conference that's always gets voted the worst press conference is always EA. Right?
Oh yeah. They're never the best. I mean, last year's one was atrocious. Hey, we have Command & Conquer Mobile. It's a pay to win situation of the game that you love, and everyone was like, "This is horrible. We don't want to do this."
Or just remember the off-the-cuff sort of interview in the audience. Oh, yeah, we're making a Star Wars game. We're making a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
We're making a new Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Knight or Fallen Order or something like that. Whatever. I forgot the name.
Yeah.
Which we will see in April. They said they will announce the game in April. We talked about that last week. But E3, EA said that they will not have a traditional press conference like they did in the past. So they won't be on stage and sort of have a press conference. It will sort of be snippets of games that are coming out, right? Announcements and stuff, which is good. I mean, I honestly think they're like one of the most. Their press conference is usually boring. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
unless you want to see the new Madden game. Listen, if you want to see the new Madden game, they'll have that special.
I mean, Anthem was cool. Anthem looked great.
One of the small highlights they had from the show. Now they'll have sort of multiple live streams for different games that so you can pick and choose. If you're a big sports fan, big Madden fan, you will pick that live stream to sort of see what's new about Madden, or if they have anything else, mobile games, Command and Conquer 2 mobile. Who knows?
Oh, God. No, I'm good. I'm good with my Command and Conquer on mobile. I have had my fill, which is 0.
So.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be watching all of these streams just because, it is what it is. We have to see what the coverage is. We have to see what the highs and the lows are from this. So it doesn't really change anything for us, but it is like kind of nice that they're kind of segmenting it off into their different play groups, I guess, right? You have the sports fans, the perennial Madden fans, the first person shooter fans, the mobile fans, or whatever it is, so I see it as a good move, I guess.
The festivities will kick off June 7th this year, which is always before E3, right? It's
always on that Saturday, right? Always on that weekend.
Well, funny enough, June 7th is a Friday this year.
Interesting.
So they would kick some of their festivities off on Friday.
Wow.
They have a fan fest. The fan fest, I think, will be like on Tuesday. But some of the festivities come. They always start before, right? They always start that Saturday, so I'm sure they'll have stuff on the 7th, 8th. They'll have a fan fest on the 11th, I think. No one's gonna care. I got to be honest, except for the die-hard sports fans. Not
right. You're 100% right.
Not the general gaming fans, right? Or the hardcore gaming fans that aren't like in the Madden. I mean, the only reason why I even cared about last year's Madden is only because they had a story mode associated with it.
Yeah. Well, hell, FIFA's had that for the last couple years. It's pretty nice.
I know you're a big FIFA guy. I buy it every year.
I love it. It's fun. It's fun. I mostly buy it because me and my brother play the game. That's really the reason that I buy it year after year.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a solid experience. Let me tell you, they get everything right in that game.
All right, let's move on to Epic Games. They're biddle rivals with Steam. I told you this was going to be a thing. You didn't think they can make noise when they first announced this, right? Back in when we covered the video game awards. I told you Epic Games are going to be big rivals to Steam. Big rivals. Well, I mean,
I didn't think they're going to be buying up exclusivity rights to all these games, which is what they're doing.
And it's a good move. If I was them, I would do it too. Listen, if you don't play these games, you got to come on our platform, right?
Yeah. I mean, from a business standpoint, it makes sense.
That's the move. And now they have another exclusive game. They secure the rights to the PC, the PC rights to Shakedown Hawaii.
Yeah. So for people who may or may not remember, this is the same company that did Retro City Rampage, which was basically a love letter to retro games in the style of the original GTA top-down games, and it was great. Had everything in the kitchen sink in there, and they made I think they made a couple different versions of it, like a deluxe version and whatever else. And
I have the deluxe version for the Switch.
Yeah. So Shakedown Hawaii is in the same kind of art style, the same kind of vein, but the game itself is, I think you're like a drug runner, if I'm not mistaken, in this game.
In Hawaii?
I'm pretty sure you're trying to run a drug business, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But it does look awesome. I mean, you can definitely find the trailer online. It's definitely all over the place from V-Blank Games, right? They make good stuff, And
if you want to play it, you got to play it in the Epic Games Store.
If you want to play it on PC, at least you have to play it in the Epic Games Store. Yeah.
I'm just gonna wait for them to put out a physical release.
Well, you don't have a PC, so you definitely couldn't play it there. No, but you're saying you don't want to get it digital.
Oh, I'm not buying it digital. I'll wait. Just like Rampage, I have that. I have the deluxe version for the Switch. It came out for the Switch. So I mean, it's the same company, it's sort of like limited run that put out games, right? Physical games.
Yep.
So hopefully it'll be at PAX this year.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, let's get into our lead story. This hurts my heart, I gotta be honest.
Oh boy.
Just especially talking about digital games, the digital feature is on its way. It's knocking on the door. It's at least knocking on the door, right?
Yeah. We've been definitely talking about it since the inception of Rated G, that 3.5 years ago. That hey, the inevitability is physical's going away.
So Xbox, the big rumors, strong rumors, that Xbox will be releasing we're not talking about next gen. We're still talking about this gen. A discless Xbox One S, codename Maverick, and it could be announced pre-order. It could be announced next month, pre-orders next month, and launching at E.
Yeah. How do you feel about the strength of this rumor?
I think, first of all, the rumor it's coming from credible sources. According to to IGN and other outlets, right? Like this is a strong rumor that this is a strong possibility.
Yeah, I honestly 100% think this is going to be a thing, right? They automatically reduce costs because there's less physical moving parts. There's no CD-ROM drive in there, right? Or DVD or Blu-ray drive or whatever it is, right? So like immediately you cut back on production costs, right? So automatically you can drop like $30 to $50 out of the damn system and then just sell it, right? And this works in all major markets, right? It works in any place you have broadband, right? You have a decent broadband connection, you just download it, right? Every game is available digitally. Some games aren't available physically, right? It used to be the other way around where you could get some games digitally, but not all games. You get all games physically, but now it's the other way around, right? There's certain games that are specifically just digital games. Right. So that coupled with Xbox Game Pass, it's kind of a no-brainer for some people.
Well, I would suspect they would have. I mean, whenever you buy a new console anyway, they give you like a free, or whenever you first sign up, they give you like a free month of Games Pass, right? I
as
suspect
well as like Xbox Live for a little bit. Yeah.
Xbox Live, yeah, for like another on a month, right?
Yeah.
I would suspect they would give maybe like a 90-day trial of Xbox Game Pass for this. With this, if this was if I was them and I was releasing a digital box, I would want to do something to entice them. Like, yeah, not just a month. Here's 3 months free. Get them in. Get them hooked. I could see this happening. And then remember, there was rumors. There were other rumors too. I think we talked about this many episodes ago about them having a trade-in program where you can trade in a game and it'll digital download code. Right. I don't know if I would want to do that. I would never trade in a game per se.
Right.
But this would work like if you're at like a friend's house or a spouse's house, right? I would keep this there. And then, if I get buy the game, digital download, and you download. Well, you still got to pay for hard drive space, right? It's not streaming. It's not a streaming box.
It's not exclusively a streaming box, but
what kind of hard drive? What kind of hard drive they would have?
It's probably going to be a 1 terabyte in there, Again,
I think it has to be more.
Well, it's not geared towards the hardcore. It's
geared towards the casual.
I don't necessarily want to say the casual, but I mean it's geared towards someone who doesn't care about the physical disc, right? And I also don't think they're going to be like playing every game under the sun, right? And if they are, they'll just say, well, you can just get Xbox Game Pass. And then you don't have to worry about like hard drive space necessarily, right? Because you have all these games, so you can just kind of like put them on and off as you want, right? Because as soon as you put a 2 terabyte hard drive in there, then that kind of negates the cost savings from taking out the Blu-ray, right?
True, I mean, maybe you're right. Games are bigger, right? Because if you have Games Pass, they download the game.
Well,
to
sure.
the hard drive.
Then you just
it's not streaming.
You just swap it out when you're done with the game. Like, okay, I'm done playing Halo. Now I want to play Metro Exodus, right? You just go, okay, well, I'll delete that and then download this game.
Well, the whole point is that you want them all ready to go, right? What if you want to jump in from game to game? Or what if there are multiple people in the house that want to play different games? All right. And
well, I mean, a terabyte will hold a terabyte of space will hold probably 10 to 12 games, right?
I mean, games are like 50, 60 gigs now, right?
I mean, sure. But I mean,
right?
like,
and patches, and then they have to have the software already in there. So even if it's a terabyte, you're not really getting a terabyte.
If you're someone who's worried about all that, you will buy a 4 terabyte external hard drive or a 6 terabyte external hard drive, and then you're good, you know, because they have that option now, right? When the Xbox first came out, they didn't have support for external USBs, which I thought was awful, and they eventually patched that in. I think in maybe 2015 or so. So you can just like get a little USB 3.0 drive, hook it up to the back, and then you're good. You know, you technically have you have infinite space at that point because you can just keep adding hard drives if you want.
I would, if I was them, I would again 90-day free trial, Games Pass. And
I'm with you there.
2 terabyte hard drive, so you can download all the games. You don't have to worry about swapping anything out.
I mean, you're gonna hit that wall too, though. I mean,
eventually you'll hit that wall. Eventually, yes, you always will, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to be able to keep, you know, a pretty good, decent library already ready to go, especially if you have Games Pass. Right?
Well, we'll see what we'll see what the specs are in the coming months because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a thing. So we'll definitely get details.
And imagine if you download Anthem, right, which is a massive multiplayer game.
Probably 100 gigs, maybe, yeah.
Probably 100 gigs.
Maybe 100 gigs, yeah. Maybe.
And then it crashes your Xbox One Maverick.
Well,
segue.
I wasn't gonna call. I was just gonna. That was a good segue. I was gonna let that go.
Thank you.
But then you had to go. You had to go and call it out.
So Anthem has been crashing. The big reports is Anthem has been crashing PS4s, and in some cases, well, at least in one case, bricking PS4s. Well, bricking a PS4.
Is this not an issue on Xbox?
It is an issue. It's just not widely reported, but everyone's saying it's the same problem on Xbox. But you know, I'm sure people are playing it on the superior hardware PS4, right? No one's really buying it on Xbox, so they're not.
Though the Xbox One X is quantifiably superior to the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Who's in the lead? How many PS4?
No. You said the superior system, which means more powerful hardware-wise, and that's the Xbox One X. You just got apples to apples is all.
And I also said a lot of people aren't buying the Xbox version; they're buying the PS4 version.
Well, right? Hey, I mean that's perfectly fine. You can do what they want, but quantifiably, Xbox is more powerful than PlayStation.
I know, to 50,000 teraflops.
Yeah, it's good. I'm just saying. That is quantifiable.
No, it is crashing Xbox Ones as well.
Yeah, this is really bad. This is bad. There have been reports of Sony giving people money back, but refunds, which is weird because they don't like to give refunds. Trust me. And they've actually denied a lot of people. It is not standard for them to do that. So if they do that, consider yourself very lucky. But they have turned more people away than they've given them refunds, I think.
And this is my issue with the digital world only. Okay. And I can attest to this. When I first got my PS4, I had Assassin's Creed Black Flag, right? So it's Assassin's Creed 4, essentially. And once I made it to the ship, the game crashed all the time, and I couldn't get past that level. It always crashed. Mm-hmm. And I would delete it, re-download it, still crashed. There was an issue with my download, and they had to give me the money back. And that's when I went out and bought Assassin's Creed 4 for the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. So, you know, what happens when your digital download is corrupted?
Well, I mean, I don't think that was a.
That's my side tangent because that happened to me 4 years ago.
I wouldn't necessarily squarely put that on the download, you know, because that could happen. Like, you know, if you played Assassin's Creed 4 on Xbox One or PS4, it's gonna dump the game to the hard drive for performance reasons anyway, right? So it could technically get corrupted during that process too, you know. There's always definitely room for failure, you know. I think devs just have to be careful, right? It's it's the same case here, like Gearbox, right? Not a Gearbox. Who put Anthem out? Is it Gearbox?
No, Anthem. Yeah.
Well, no, EA produced Anthem, but
BioWare.
Okay, so
Yeah,
BioWare put the game together, right? We can all probably safely point fingers at EA for pushing it out the door very quickly, right? They also put it up against Apex Legends, which, why? Why don't you just wait on Apex Legends? No one knew it was coming. Why don't just wait a month and then put it out? But that's a whole nother thing. Like,
they probably didn't think Apex Legends was going to do anything.
I guess not, but they were severely wrong. And now with Anthem having all these bugs because they basically rushed it, then it's like, well, this is real bad. This looks real bad for your company. You're bricking systems with your game, right? It is not invoke consumer confidence, right? I don't want to get Anthem until they fix this, right? I was on the fence of like, maybe I'll get Anthem. I'm going to wait for the reviews. And then this story comes out. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I'm going to get Anthem. I'm just not going to play it until the patch comes out.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait until the patch is good, and then maybe we'll go play it. Yeah.
Which they said the patch should be coming as of this recording this week.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will definitely bring you the latest on this when they end up patching it. So.
I will be getting this on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Because we will be getting the Division 2 on Xbox One, correct?
I don't see why not. I think you do carry over some stuff if you have the first Division game. So why not get those bonuses on the date that brought you, right?
Yeah. All right. So then I'm gonna get an Anthem on the PS4.
All right.
I want to switch it up on my multiplayers. Also, so last week PS4 had a major update drop, right? Mm-hmm. And this was crazy because this was out of nowhere that the 6.5 system update allowed game streaming on iOS. So if you have an iPad or an iPhone, it was sort of the same deal with the PlayStation Vita.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace. Yeah. Or you can sort of stream the games from PS4 instead of, just like with the Wii U, you can have the gamepad. You can play the games on the Vita.
Right.
Instead of on TV, you can play now the games on your iOS.
Mm-hmm.
Controls still suck like any other game that you will play. Like I have Sonic on my iPhone, right. And the manual controls on the touchscreen still suck.
Well, that's how it is here, right? All the controls are overlaid on the touchscreen.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. That just sounds like a recipe for disaster.
I think this is them testing out just like Xbox is putting out the discless box, right? Them testing the waters out to see how good or bad that does for the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is Sony sort of testing the waters with streaming games anywhere, right? Maybe you can stream games to your phone, no matter what device you're on. Rumors are that Android will be getting an update at some point this year. So they're testing the waters out, streaming games anywhere. Maybe we'll get streaming games to a browser at some point, and you could technically you could still play PS Now on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can play PlayStation games on PC with PS Now.
Mm-hmm.
And I still thought it was a great idea, and they took support of this out. It was a great idea. All Sony TVs had PlayStation Now. So all you had to do...
I'm surprised they did that.
All you had to do is have a controller.
Yep.
And if you have a Sony TV, you can play PlayStation Now, right? You didn't need a PlayStation. I thought that was an awesome move that they stopped support for. Hopefully they'll bring that back.
Yeah,
that just makes sense.
I really don't know why they dropped that. That's just crazy.
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now, the price was horrible. The price for the PlayStation Now prices were atrocious.
Yeah, it was what? What do you mean? You mean for the hardware or the games?
No. I mean, the hardware is the TV. The price for PlayStation Now was atrocious. It was like $40 for 3 months.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a little high. Like $9.99 per month is where it's at.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot right there.
Mm-hmm.
$10 a month no fuss, no muss. People forget about it. I still have WWE Network for $10 a month. And
I mean, okay.
I always forget about it.
Poo that. I bet you use it. I'm sure you watch on the regular.
I use it a little bit. I do. I watch some like the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I'll watch that. All right, so let's switch gears and go to Nintendo. We talked about PSVR earlier today, and I promise. Now that my PSVR is hooked up to my OG PS4, hooked up to my monitor, I don't have to worry about any of the HDR pass-through nonsense. I will play some more VR games. I am dying to play Astro.
You should. It's fantastic, man. Wipeout is great. Tetris is great. Resident Evil is great.
So, VR is a big thing, right? I still think VR is happening. We don't have that killer app yet, in my opinion.
Oh my god, we do. I know, all the aforementioned games are great in VR.
I think they're great. I think they're great, but we don't have that. I think we just don't have that killer app. We don't have that thing that people commonly just want to use. Just that maybe not just gamers, but just the regular public. We have that killer VR app that everyone needs to use, and then gaming will be right behind that.
I think part of it is that VR is still kind of difficult for people to use. Like they can't sit in it for a while. There's like you can maybe get an hour out of somebody, a half an hour to an hour before they're like, I need to take the system off, right? It doesn't really like bother me, but it does kind of bother a lot of people. So
how does that work? You wear glasses.
I do, yeah.
Do you wear the headset over your glasses?
Sometimes. The PSVR is super ergonomic, man. I have to tell you, like, you know the headphones I have, right? The traffic controller style cans.
Yeah.
Right? So I will wear my glasses, wear the PlayStation VR, and then put my headphones over it, and everything fits snug. Not a problem.
Interesting.
Yeah, PlayStation did an amazing job. I'm pretty sure, because I remember we used the Vive, and I think we also did the Oculus, and they all like fit well too, right? They were designed, they were considered. The design.
I think the PlayStation VR, out of all the headsets that I've tried, is the best one as far as fit and feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's it's very nice. Mm-hmm.
But Nintendo, who said that they wouldn't be, Reggie, who's leaving, made a statement a couple of years ago when we were talking about the Switch. He said that they're not really interested in VR. Well, we knew that was a load of, we knew that was a bunch of malarkey, right? We know they have teams testing things out.
Well, of course. Everybody, VR is the future. If you don't want to make VR equipment, that's fine, but then you'll be left in the dust,
But Nintendo just announced a VR headset as a Labo kit.
Yep, Nintendo does things the Nintendo way.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm super interested in this. I have a Labo kit, the variety kit with the piano and the fishing, and sort of like the I guess that's like you're riding a motorcycle. I'm probably never gonna open this variety kit. I don't have any kids and I have no desire to play the piano. Right. But the VR version, I think I will buy and I will play. I will put together and open.
I mean,
it's a little weird. It's a little weird because
it looks very weird because you have to insert the whole entire unit into the headset. Right.
Well, that makes sense because that is the that's the version.
That's the screen, sure.
That's the screen.
Yeah. But I feel like it's going to be a little heavy. They have it to where the Joy-Cons are on the side. I'm assuming you just snap the Joy-Cons off and then you use those as regular controllers, which would make sense.
But the real interesting part of it is there's no strap. So you have to hold it to your head.
Oh, yeah. What? You're right. So, like, what I just said doesn't make any sense. You have to hold it up by its sides, which means the Joy-Cons need to be on the system. Yeah, I don't...
So all the versions, because they have different versions, different uses for it, where one, you have like a camera. Mm-hmm. Another one looks like a gun of some sort. Yeah, right?
Some sort of shooting game, probably. Yeah.
Some shooting game. One looks like an elephant's trunk.
Yep.
Don't know what
bird
that's
one,
for.
And then there's like a ViewMaster thing, I think, like a camera thing or whatever to view pictures.
And then,
I think.
Yeah, and then we have the one that looks like the Virtual Boy. right?
Yeah.
This would be awesome if they had virtual boy games on here, right?
Oh my god, they could.
That-
By all means, they could. The Switch definitely has the processing power for it, so
That would be different. It would be different.
right? Yeah, make your own. Yeah, like we have VR games in the eShop. It sounds so weird, but this would be the venue to do it, right?
This would. I think they're crazy enough to do it. This would be awesome.
Why not? Why not do it?
Even if they didn't do it, somebody would hack it.
I would buy Galactic Pinball or Mario Tennis or whatever. Like, it'd be great.
Somebody would hack into it and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would hack into it. Listen, I can't wait for this to come out so someone can hack the Switch and put Virtual Boy games on there.
Yeah, dude.
That would be so awesome.
I legit, I am 100% with you. I would buy all of these games and play them.
A few episodes ago, we talked about the crunch culture, right? And I think the Red Dead game, it was the one that sparked the crunch culture.
We had our friend Joe on, and we were talking about the culture of crunch and all that.
And I think
sure. Episode 127, if I recall correctly.
And I mean, we had minor differences of opinion, but our overall stance of crunch needs to be fixed. And I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Like, it needs to be fixed. Like, there needs to be realistic way of getting the game out on time without having people working 100 hours, like 100 hours a week.
People's health and well-being is of utmost importance.
Now, Nintendo is known to be we didn't talk about this last week, but there were like surveys out. Nintendo is a great place to work, apparently. Like, everyone loves working at Nintendo. Everyone who's there, they don't have high turnover. A lot of people really don't leave them. Which is, I think, is a great. That sounds great. I would love to work at Nintendo. Hey, listen, I would love to work at Nintendo America. Reggie's leaving,
Yeah, right? Hey, there's an open spot. Oh, wait, no. There's this guy named Bowser who already took it over.
But the director of Super Smash Brothers, Sakurai, I think we also talked, like, I wanted to know where was the outrage when Sakurai was working so hard. He, like, collapsed and had health issues. All right.
Well, I mean,
see, he put the crunch on himself.
Where that story is awful, like, that was Sakurai's own doing, Well,
I think in the discussion that we had about crunch, the higher ups would, especially with Red Dead, it was the higher ups would stay in crunch and late with the game, and a lot of people felt like they needed to stay late too because the management stayed late as well, doing crunch with the game.
Yeah.
I can argue that is of your own doing that you feel the need to stay late, unless there's a culture where if you're leaving, that's taboo, right? But Sakurai also doesn't work for Nintendo. He works with Nintendo. He does have his own separate studio. He just sort of has. But he got sick. He had food poisoning, and he still worked on this on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He just had an IV drip.
Yeah,
on him. While
the man is insane.
Crazy.
He's gonna drop dead for making a Smash Brothers game at some point in time, and it's gonna be awful.
Someone should stop this man. I'd rather have a lesser Ultimate game, Smash Bros. Ultimate game,
yeah, we don't
and have him live and be in good health.
It's fine, Sakurai. It's fine.
Well, we don't
take a break.
In this digital world, we don't need all the characters right now. You can just make it DLC.
Yeah, put it out a year later. It's fine.
Free DLC.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes sense. But in the same vein of Nintendo being a great place to work, Nintendo actually is looking out for the consumers too, right? Like, this is, when I read this story, I thought this was a great gesture. Nintendo was reportedly adjusting smartphone games to make players stop spending so much money, right? They're telling all the company. I mean, Nintendo themselves aren't making a lot of the smartphone games. They are farming it out to other studios, but they're saying don't make it to where I think it was a DNA, right? DNA is one of their they had like sort of that merger where they bought like majority share of that, and they're a big cell phone big company that makes cell phone games in Japan,
right? So
they're sort of prohibiting them from doing that whole monetization thing on smartphones. I mean, we saw it with Mario, right? Mario Run, $10, you have everything. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which they made a lot of money. They made like 80 million off of it, right?
They did,
which
they
is
did
a far
make a
cry.
decent amount of money for sure.
Which is a far cry from maybe the 200 million they could have did it if they had monetization in it, where you buy levels, buy skins, and stuff like that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they just kind of nickel and dime people like that.
But I commend Nintendo, right? Because they want to keep their integrity and have sort of the integrity of the Nintendo culture. They don't want people to get addicted and spend loads of money on the games, and they don't look at the cell phone market like they look at the console market. They think the cell phone market sort of is a companion, or they want to get people sort of through cell phone games to buy their console and buy console games, right? I mean, look at Doug Bowser. We talked about it. Doug Bowser, one of his statements when he was, thanking Reggie for all the work, and, he's coming in, his vision is to get Switches into the hands of just general public, right? Like not just hardcore gamers, but just general casual gamers. So, by all the reports, Nintendo looks at their mobile games as sort of a gateway into their console space.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. They're not doing what Konami is doing, where they're just taking their properties and saying, you know what, we're gonna make them pachinko machines, we're gonna make them mobile games, and like that's all we're gonna have. You're not gonna get a new Castlevania console game, right? And it's like, well, you realize Konami, they're different markets, right? And Nintendo realizes that too, and I think you're right. It is kind of a gateway to get people to like the console version, It's just, yeah. I mean, Nintendo is the company to look at for how to do things, I think, in this case, right?
Yeah. I agree. Well, you know what? They know the culture of addiction, right? They even talk about that. Mm-hmm. They don't want people to be addicted and spend loads of money on their games. They want people to enjoy the games. They want to keep the reputation and integrity of their games being family friendly, right? Mm-hmm. They don't want kids spending thousands of dollars of their parents' money behind their back. That just makes sense. Mm-hmm. Speaking with mobile, Octopath Traveler, everybody's favorite RPG on the Switch last year, except Dave.
It's all right.
Except for Dave.
It's all right. Look. People are a little overhyped on this game because they're like, oh, it's just like the old school Final Fantasy, old school pixel RPGs. I'm like, well, yeah, it is, but there's still a lot of things that are wrong with the game.
Well, Octopath Traveler is getting a prequel game that's coming to mobile. Right now, it's only announced for Japan. But I'm sure at some point, because this game was massive worldwide, I'm sure they'll bring this game out and translate it, out here in America and in the UK. So, I didn't like the demo. I love the art style. I want to try the game. I want to try to get back into the game, right? Mm-hmm. One day I'm just going to be bored and say, screw it. I'm just going to do it. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I love the art style. I'm not a big. I like action RPGs. Mm-hmm.
This is a little more of an RPG. It's turn-based.
Old school. Yeah,
it's turn-based style. The battles are ungodly long. They don't really need to be that long, and they are that long. Like boss battles do take like a while.
Listen, I heard people putting like 100 plus hours into Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
Because you got to play all different characters.
Well, I mean, you can technically go through it 8 different ways, right? Because you can choose one of the 8 characters to be your starter, and then go through the whole entire game. So you can do it 8 times.
All right, let's end with an old school note, retro note, right? Mm-hmm. There was a discovered unreleased NES game. Yes, I am correct. It is NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. You heard me right. Unreleased game discovered 30 years later. It's a wrestling game.
That's not SimCity for the Nintendo?
That is not SimCity. It's a wrestling game.
Uh-huh.
It was supposed to. this was like a old WCW game.
Wow.
It was a placeholder title for a WCW game back in the 80s.
I'm looking at the graphics right now. They don't look great.
Well, it's a Nintendo game.
They look pretty raw. They look pretty raw. And I'm not gonna go ahead and mince words. A lot of the early Nintendo games, especially the wrestling games, like Muscle and Tag Team Wrestling and like whatever else, they were bad. Yeah, so this is a little bit better than that, I think.
This was made around like 1989. It was submitted to Nintendo of America in 1989.
It's a little
so the ex-Nintendo employee who has it intends to share the ROM online in the future, all right? But it looks like a placeholder for Sting. If you look at the actual gameplay, it's like it was supposed to have. Well, it looks like Ric Flair. It definitely looks like Ric Flair.
Yeah,
one of the characters, which makes sense because Ric Flair was in WCW at that time, or NWA, which Ted Turner turned into WCW.
Right. Well, that's where he started off, right? And then he eventually came to the WWF.
Well, he came to WWF with the World Heavyweight Championship belt, the big gold belt. And then he left after a year. He lost it to, he won. After a while, after a lawsuit, he couldn't show the belt on WWF TV anymore. Right. And we were hoping to have the big payoff between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, but Vince McMahon, one of his major mistakes, he's made many. One of the major mistakes is sort of diverting from the plan of Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania, and he switched it to Hulk Hogan and Sid Vicious at WrestleMania, and Ric Flair lost to Macho Man for the belt at that WrestleMania. Huge mistake. Still burns me to this day. Which they made up for it on Raw back in 2002. Ric Flair finally faced Hulk Hogan
also,
in WWE.
So many years later, right?
As old, for the World Championship,
right.
Right. Stone Cold came in, stunned Ric Flair, and then Hulk Hogan won.
Well, I'll tell you this. Once they end up ripping this ROM, I will definitely download it, play it on my computer, emulate it, and we'll have to get some 2-player action going on.
Nice. I want to play as Ric Flair.
I want to see how this game goes. You can be B. Eaton, I think is how they call him in the game.
I want to be Ric Flair, Dan.
Fair enough. So, all right, that about does it. It's episode 154 in the books. We want to thank you guys for listening to the show and sticking with us and being the good fans that you are. If you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Don't forget that we are now a part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Go to gamingpodcastalliance.com and you can see all of the great podcasts that are there. Take a listen to some of those guys, show them some love. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.